Connecting with archaeology provides you a sense of identity and connects Qatar to the rest of the world.
By making this event, we promote and encourage not only the states but also the public and all the communities around Zubarah to protect their marine and cultural heritage, underwater cultural heritage.
Hello and welcome to Qatar 365 with me, Laila Humairah. On this episode, we take a look at how the country is preserving both archaeological sites and its intangible cultural heritage. Let's first start here at the northern tip of Qatar in a village called Ain Mohamed. As I found out, it's one of a few dozen historical sites where researchers are conducting excavations to dig into the history of the early Islamic period. In the study of human history, nothing comes quite close to the thrill of discovering an ancient site. Dr. Robert Carter is leading the research at Ain Mohamed excavation site. What he and his team have found tells a fascinating story about the area in Qatar's history.
Well, there were definitely people living here, so they were not only undertaking production activities, they were also living around the factory as well, because we have their food remains in little hearths. Cooking places. In fact, we have evidence from the site that they were growing crops. So we have a settled population, and they're farming, and they're making textiles. And they're in Qatar.
In the last 15 years, Ain Mohamed has been one of more than 30 sites identified by Qatar Museum's archaeologists, giving a glimpse of how life was like in the 19th century. But more recent findings have indicated that these sites existed way before then, between the 7th and the 9th century, which was also the time period that witnessed the birth of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. Qatar Museums launched the Landscapes of Faith project to trace the intersection of when Christianity and Islam first overlapped.
So far, we haven't found any good evidence either way for whether the people at the sites that we're excavating are Christian or Muslim. But what we have found is some very interesting facts about the activities they were performing, the lives that they were leading, and the connections they had with the outside world.
After 2 excavation seasons, Dr. Carter and his team have collected a few pieces that make up the human history puzzle.
We have a complete grinding stone, 2 halves of a rotary quern, we call it, still together in position, which is very unusual. We have several finds relating to textile production. We have spindle whorls, which are weights, and we have spindles, brass rods, which are used to spin. So we believe they were producing wool on this site. Here we've got a very nicely made basin with a nice lip, with gypsum plaster, and a drainage hole going through into a pit on the other side. And the pits where these basins empty out tend to be filled with this ashy sediment, which is one of the reasons we believe that they were washing something, probably a fleece, in ashy water to clean it.
Among the finds was also this, the skeletal remains of a small dog in one of the rooms. While it's yet to be dated, it could indicate domestication of pets or perhaps the owning of sheepdogs. Every year, the museum holds an open day. It's a chance for the public to experience, explore, and learn about the excavation site.
We have a group of people that can excavate with us, they can sieve the finds and the spoil that we find, they can wash pottery, they can take some photography. So it's a very hands-on day. Connecting with archaeology provides you a sense of identity and connects Qatar to the rest of the world.
Angie Altham grew up watching Indiana Jones movies, so signing up to such an opportunity was a no-brainer.
It was my first time here, and I found it fascinating, just digging, finding, and all these. And there is a very ancient and vibrant history in Qatar.
Beginner's luck was on her side as Angie found a piece of broken pottery that looks like what the archaeologists are looking for. The team thinks they've only scratched the surface at Ain Mohamed and are hopeful that future digs will bring them more artifacts to help solve the mystery of Qatar's earliest dwellers. Preserving ancient sites is one important aspect of making sure past civilizations don't get lost through the ages, but so is spreading the knowledge to future generations. I'm here at Musharraf Museums in the heart of Doha to meet General Manager Abdullah Al-Nama, who gives us an insight to the museum's role in keeping Qatar's heritage alive. Mr. Abdullah, thank you so much for having us here today. I wanted to start first with where we are. This is the Mohammed bin Jasim house. What is the historical and cultural significance of this building?
Mohammed bin Jasim is one of our 4 museums here in Musharraf Museums. Mohammed bin Jasim is very significant to the downtown Musharraf. It covers the history of Musharraf as an area, plus it explains the 7 steps that the new architectural language that the city was built upon, how they established. And it's also a testimonial of the education that here in downtown and Musharraf properties we are trying to spread the knowledge of building a smart and sustainable city to the younger generation.
And there are a few other historical houses that make up Musharraf Museums. Can you tell us more about those buildings?
We have as well Beit bin Julmud, which is the first and only museum in the world that talks about the story of slavery in the Indian Ocean War. And also we have the Company House, which is a museum that focuses on the Qatari pioneer who were working in the oil industry. The 4th museum is Radwani House. Radwani House is a prototype of the old Qatari houses, pre-oil and post-oil. The 4 museums, the 4 stories, actually it's a social and economical study of the history of Qatar in the past 120 years.
So what are the ongoing outreach programs that you have at the museum right now?
With Musharraf Museums, maybe it's not your traditional kind of museum. You focus a lot on the narrative. It's a narrative storytelling museums, more than artifact-based museum. For example, we have bi-monthly, very active program, which is the Science Cafe, in collaboration with Sidra, for example. We have a research program with Hamad bin Khalifa University. So we try to diverse our offering because lots of initiatives happening here in Qatar.
And finally, how do you see Musharraf Museums continuing to stay relevant as the world modernizes?
I think it's very important, especially through programming, to be relevant within the community. As long as the programs and the initiatives that we keep organizing are part of what interests people, I think this will make museums relevant to the evolving and changing communities. At the end of the day, our role is not only to showcase history, but also to be part of history.
From forgotten worlds under Qatar sands to treasure troves in its coastal waters, Johanna Hoes gets her hands and feet wet at the Al Zubarah archaeological site to explore Qatari history submerged in the Arabian Gulf.
At first glance, this beach on Qatar's northwestern coast might not seem all that remarkable. But dig a little deeper, literally and figuratively, and hidden under the glistening waters, you will find traces of a bygone era, remnants of the ancient coastal town of Al Zubarah, a settlement that was once at the heart of Qatar's pearl trade.
في القرن التاسع عشر الحياة اللي كانت فيها صيد اللولو مارسوها في دول الخليج العربي. طبعاً الزحف العمراني قضى على هذه القرى أو المدن، فبقيت زبارة شاهد على صيد اللولو في القرن الثامن عشر.
Today's dive in Al Zubarah's past is organised by Qatar Museums and UNESCO in collaboration with Seashore and the Poseidon Dive Centre. The open day offers curious minds from Qatar's diving community a rare chance to get hands-on and learn how to uncover, document and preserve the country's underwater cultural heritage.
اليوم نحن في يوم مفتوح حول التعريف بموقع زبارة، ولكن مع التركيز على أهمية البحر والنشاط البحري لهذه المدينة في الفترة الحديثة. من يعني اللقى الأثرية التي نعثر عليها في المواقع البحرية هي أساساً المدافع، الخشب يعني بقايا حطام السفن اللي تتكون أساساً سواء من بقايا السفينة أو الحمولة. اليوم المفتوح هذه سبق يعني ورشة عمل تدريبية. الورشة هذه يعني الغواصين تلقوا فيها يعني دروس نظرية، واليوم هم يقوموا بتطبيق لما رأوه يعني وما درسوه من نظري في ورشة العمل.
By making this event, and this is actually one of our outstanding collaboration with Qatar Museums. We promote and encourage not only the states but also the public and all the communities around Zubarah to protect their marine and cultural heritage, underwater cultural heritage.
Al Zubarah was first identified as an archaeological landmark in the 1950s and received UNESCO World Heritage status in 2013. It's Qatar's largest heritage site, but only a small part of the town has been excavated, leaving plenty to dust off or dredge on land and here at sea.
ما نحط كل المعلومات أو نبحث في كل المجال، نترك شيء للجيل القادم. الموقع كبير جدا وفيه ظروف وفيه تحدي للملوحة في المنطقة. ونطلق مشاريع اللي هي أو نشارك الموقع في التعليم وفي الخطة الاقتصادية في الدولة في السياحة، وكل ما توفرت المعلومات أعطى الموقع أهمية كبيرة للزائر وللتعرف على هذه المنطقة.
So this site was inscribed in UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2013, and since its inscription, it's no longer become a Qatari site. It's become a site important for humanity. It has an outstanding universal value. So it's no longer Qatari. It's become for the whole world. It's important for the whole world.
Wafa has dedicated her career to conserving underwater cultural heritage. But she says digging up the past isn't just about preserving history. It's about understanding human behavior and the valuable lessons the past can teach us for the future.
Uncovering secrets of the past and preserving treasures from ancient civilizations are the strongest reminders that as Qatar modernizes, its commitment to staying true to its roots is as unwavering as the artifacts that have survived hundreds of years. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, but that's all the time we have for now. For more, check out Euronews.com and connect with us through our hashtag. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Qatar 365.